Cell phone video can be a game changer when it comes to proving cases of police brutality. Still, no charges have been filed against Baltimore police in the case of Freddie Gray. Criminal defense attorney Gary Gerstenfield is very familiar with the issue. He is here with us now. Gary, thank you very much for being here. You know, we say cell phone video can be a game changer, but you go back to the Rodney King case years ago, and there was supposedly video of the excessive force alleged against him, and it still didn't get a conviction in that case. So is it really a game changer?
Overall, yes, it is. On individual cases, it depends. Because what happens is when someone's charged with a crime, the defense always tries to bring it down to that one particular instance, that one particular case, and not try to go and look at a whole systemic problem. For example, what was seen in Ferguson was a systemic problem of racism by the police department. But in that one particular case involving Officer Wilson, there was no wrongdoing specifically discovered.
Right, because the federal government couldn't even bring civil rights charges against him. They looked at it but didn't do anything.
They couldn't find what they call a deprivation of your civil rights, which is what's required for the federal government to take case and go and pursue a prosecution.
That's a civil rights case, but I was reading in Mother Jones, magazine has also reported, officer-involved killings seldom lead to a charge, let alone a conviction.
Yeah.
They pointed out South Carolina is pretty unique. In the last few days, we've had 3 South Carolina police officers charged for a crime, but basically it's 3 out of 209. Why is it so difficult?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but we have to look and start to see, first of all, what happens as a police officer when a police officer becomes targeted as part of a criminal investigation. Unlike the rest of us, police officers have what's called a police officer's Bill of Rights. The most important thing is there's a delay in questioning. And the other thing is they have to have a lawyer present. And police officers are professional witnesses. They're on the stand constantly. They know how to testify. And so they have more benefits, if you will, built into the system that protects them.
As you look at the Gray case specifically, we have a windpipe that's crushed, 80% spine severed. How is this case different, or is it any different?
Well, it's not that different from other instances where we have people who have incredible injuries and no real explanation as to how it happened. And again, while there are cameras in that case, what we don't see is how the injuries occurred. And of course, what have those officers done? They all have lawyers, and they're not answering questions because their lawyers are doing their job. And so what happens in a case like this is we have unanswered questions. It makes it very difficult to try to figure out exactly what really happened.
So do we see a civil case being the only recourse for justice, so to speak, in the estimation of the Gray family?
Well, that's something that I think is going to have to wait to see. But at this point, the evidence is very unclear. And so maybe, you know, the civil case, it's a different standard of proof, but there's also limitations, $200,000, that's it.
The cap in Maryland.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, thank you very much for being here with us. We'll be watching these cases, of course, unfold as they go along.